CVT lesson for Sam. This is called Rockin' Retro 80s and 90s guitar riffs. This is your second CVT lesson you've had done. I like your approach, man. You want bits and pieces of all these different bands, and several of them abstract, dude. I'm surprised you're not my age, man, with the bands you listen to. Even a few that I haven't heard of, like Czar. We have some various tunings. We're starting with Tigertailz, Living Without You, 4 seconds to 26 seconds in the song. They don't get to the point where they play the low E string, but it is drop D because I listened further through, and I wanted to set up all your riffs where we didn't have to change tunings every song. So from Tigertailz we'll go to Czar and drop D, and then from there we'll go to 8 Dayz, which is drop D. You'll see what I mean. So Tigertailz, coming in at 4 seconds. And there's another part that comes in at 19 seconds as it goes. So anyways, let's break it down. 0, 2, 3, open D is your 0. And then 2, 3, G, B. You're gonna hit those 3. And there we go, 3, 5, D, G twice. And then if you want to do it how they're doing it, there's some fret hand muting. You can eliminate it if it drives you crazy, but it's going to lead you to what I call a flatted power chord, 2D and 5G. But you want to mute the D and G first. If you mute the B, so be it. If you mute the high E, doesn't matter. You just don't want to go hit all of them. But it's this. So mute and then up down on 2-5. You got to be careful when you're muting and stuff that this string is muting like the E and the B. If you don't want to add that, just take the mute out. You have, and then 3-5 AD, and then open A back into the first chord, and then back to the 3-5 DG. So it's kind of repeating a majority of it. The muting part with the 2-5. So, oops. And then up to 5-7 D. So they've altered the endings, but the main hook is the same. When you do the 5-7, you'll hit it, rest, hit it again, and then fret hand mute into the D chord again. So it'll be down, up, down. So 3-5. Then this changes kind of dramatically. 2-5 DG to 5-5 open A to 3-5 AD. So it's right. Open A back to the D. 3-5 DG. So you see a lot of similarities here. And then they end it with this. Open A to 3-5 AD power chord. It will be like this. Rest, and then palm mute it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So technically, it's hit 1 time, no palm mute, and then 10 times with palm mutes. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5 on the G, D, 3 on the A, 5 on the D. You can disperse fingers how you want. You can go, or you can kind of do a knuckle shift. But the glue of that is really going through the D and the F with all the altered endings. At 19 seconds, kind of a play off of that. Open 2 DG, rest, and then hit it again and go to 3-5 DG. From there, go 3-5 to 2-4 to 3-5 AD, and that one rings. So it's. And I noticed, Sam, with several of these songs, there's a lot of effects, man. I think Icon was one of them, and it can make the notes hard to hear. But I think I did good for you on this. So let's move on to a band called Czar with Heart of the Night. This is still drop D, And cool song, man. And this was the band I hadn't heard of. It reminded me of Rat, kind of like a Round and Round type vibe. And this is like I said, 1 second to 24, and you got this going on. That's the riff that just repeats. Okay? I need to give these strings a good break in. So, fret 12, just slide down, it's just the feel of the slide you want. Into barred 5 DGB to 7/7, same strings. I would use first and third finger. Quick rest, and then do it again with 3 open E's palm muted. So we have then we do the 5s followed by 2 open E's palm muted again. Then we're gonna go 7, 5, 6. You can just keep the bar there and drop these because it's gonna go back to the 5th fret. But anyways, hit those 3, D, G, and B. Open E palm mute, then 5th fret barred with an open E. So that is, and then the 5th fret again, and then move that over to the 3rd fret. Those are all 3 notes in there. Primarily D and G string, but I am hearing the B in there, so I put it. So here's what we got. Rest, hit them again, and then go 2 more times into the 5th fret. That is 3 times, 3rd time no star, which is the last 3 chords. You won't do that the last time. So let's play the 3rd time. That's just going to lead you into an open A, 2D power chord. That's it for Czar. Then we move on to another band I hadn't heard of. I don't know what you would classify the style of this band as, but they're called 8 Dayz. What's So Strange About Me, from 0 seconds to 1:17. A little less distortion, so I switched to my clean channel and put a little overdrive on it. And it's 9G, 8B. Let me play a little bit of it for you. That's the hook. Oops. Catchy little riff though. 9/8, you're gonna do 3 times, and then 9/7 2 times. See, we're just moving that back a half step, and then right back to the 9/8 3 times. 3 times, 2 times, 3 times. This one had like a lot of effects too, and delay, and almost so much that it made it hard to hear was that a strum or an echo off of the delay. Then we're gonna do this. 7G, 8B, 2 times, 9G, 8B, 2 times, and then repeat that. It's a pretty fun little chord progression though. You know, and one way, you know, this stays down, and then when it transitions on the turnaround on the end, this stays down. So, oops. And that goes on, you know, several times. You'll see the double dots there. Next change comes in at 26 seconds, and it's an E minor chord. It's from the A string, 7, 9, 9, 8. Strum those 4 strings, and then we're gonna go 9G. If you don't like your pinky there, you can use your 3rd finger. I left the fingering open on that. 9, 9, 7, 7. Rest, and then 7, 5. And then I love this part, the 7th chord that they bring in. It's bar the 7th fret on the D string all the way down, and go to 8 on the E with your index. And here's this part. Got that retro psychedelic Beatles sound to it. So go D, G, E, B, G. So, and it does that 2 times. Don't get confused on your tab, Sam. You'll see 3 times after that. That's for the whole grouping. You'll have a bigger set of double dots, which is telling you to go back to here. Very cool. So you play that up until 1 minute in the song. And here's how I knew it was drop D. This was the defining moment for me because there's a natural harmonic that you can only get in drop D. 4th fret over the low E, light pressure. I'm sure you're familiar with these. You're gonna go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 32 times. So I would just count to 8 4 times. There's another guitar going around that too. And then F sharp minor, bar the 2nd fret on the last 3 strings and go to 4 D. Keep them down, it's a hold, go D, G, B, E. And then lift off to an open E, so then there's a rest. 2, 1 on the G, 4 D, slide to 6. So, and that's all for that song. Okay. Next one we're moving on to is a band called London. Is that the band that Nikki Sixx was in? Let me know. This is a song called Here It Comes. It's from the beginning to end that you wanted was 0 seconds to 1:49. This song we tune flat. So what I need to do is grab my flat tuned guitar. And this one had a lot of effects, I think a lot of reverb, if I'm not mistaken. But pretty straightforward. And what you want to do here, Sam, is just a power chord, open A, 2, D. You're gonna palm mute it. This happens to be, it's a lot of times, dude. I wrote it 8 times and then put double dots and put 8 times. So as you can figure, that's 64 times. The last group of 8, there's no palm muting. So pretty simple there. I need to double check that, dude. I think it's supposed to be 4 times, but I'll check when I run back in before I send these tabs. 7 seconds. We got this. Same chord you're on. This is a cool rhythm. Only difficult. I can't even speak. Difficult part about these is there's so many songs, and several that I'm not familiar with is remembering the beats. You know, I haven't heard most of these. So here's what we got. That's at 7 seconds. So you have your open 2, go to 3/5 DG to 2/5 DG. Then go up to 5/7 DG, and now check this out. You don't have to do this fingering. It just kind of made sense the way they were playing the riff, because you're gonna hit those 2, rest, hit it again, and then go to 5/5. So, and then 5/4, 5/5, 5/4, and then 5/7. So we have 3 different chord concepts. We have this, and this, and they're back and forth. So if you don't do it that way, you just gotta jump around more, like, you know, which is fine. At the end of the day, as long as you're playing it and it's comfortable and feels and sounds right, that's what matters. But if you do it this way, I know a power chord is usually not played with middle and pinky, but you're set up for everything. So anyways, that goes 4 times. We're gonna move on over into page 3. A lot of pages, man. And then 2/5 DG, right here. 3/2 DG, back to 2/5 to 5/7. Pretty cool, man. I like the chords. So here's what that sounds like. All right, and then that's 4 times of that. One more time. And at 43 seconds, you'll have 3/5 to 2/5 to 5/7. And then 5/7, 5/5, 5/7. So that's easy to just bar, right? No biggie if you think of it as a bar. And then you're back to the 3/5, 2/5, 5/7. And then this one to finish it. 5/5 DG, 5/4, 5/5. Now in this setup, I would use middle and third and drop your index on 4G. You'll have the same string pressed down by 2 fingers, but you're setting yourself up for that by. So, like I said, fingering's always optional though. I try to write them when I think it's the best way to go, but everyone has different finger lengths. So, repeat the 19-second part 4 times, which was the. Or yeah. It does that 4 times, and then at 1:14, this is a really cool part. It goes 5G, 7D. That's your setup. All of it's palm muted. So you'll go.